The Colorado River begins high in the Rocky Mountains and gathers force from the Green River and the San Juan as it flows southwest. Then it slices through the Grand Canyon, located in the northeast corner of Arizona. In Nevada, the river turns south, finally emptying into the Gulf of California. Glen Canyon Dam, built in 1964, just 15 miles above Lee's Ferry, is one of 15 dams now controlling the Colorado River system. The dam has flooded what used to be Glen Canyon, storing the Colorado's waters in a massive man-made lake stretching 280 miles to the north. The lake is named after the region's premier explorer, Lake Powell. The Glen Canyon Dam is run by the Federal Bureau of Reclamation and, until recently, has been a steady producer of premium peak hydroelectric power, available instantly during periods of high demand to the states of the Southwest. Downstream, the dam has dramatically altered the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon's ecosystem in ways that scientists are still struggling to understand.
One of the concerns we have now is that things are changing within the Grand Canyon along the river. The wildlife is changing, the plant life is changing, the beaches are changing, the fish populations are changing. Some of this may be good as we look at it, and some of it may be objectionable or harmful. We don't really know all of that. But clearly, things are changing because of what we have done upstream.
Certain changes are quite apparent, such as the erosion of beaches. Since the river's flow is now regulated, there are no springtime floods to bring in fresh sand to replenish the beaches. In addition, the dam's peak power production requires sudden release of huge volumes of water stored in Lake Powell. This creates sudden fluctuations in the river's flow, which tear away at the canyon's beaches. The river has been known to rise by 13 feet in 24 hours. Stanley Buse leads a research team that's been tracking the beach erosion since 1980. Their work is part of a major Grand Canyon environmental impact study.
What we hope to do with this study is provide sufficient data so that the Bureau of Reclamation can manage the flow of water through Grand Canyon in such a way as to both provide power generation as needed and still protect the beaches from being eroded away.
As this historical footage shows, the wild pre-dam Colorado, whose name means red in Spanish, carried a heavy load of sediment as it coursed through canyons. Now, its powerful surge is stopped at Glen Canyon Dam, and the sediment settles out, dropping to the bottom of Lake Powell. So the Colorado River of today is clear and green. It's also far colder, 45 degrees year-round, because the water released into the canyon comes from deep in Lake Powell. While trout flourish in the colder temperatures, the canyon's native fish are in trouble. 2 species have been wiped out, and others, like this unusual humpback chub, are endangered. Deer have always been seen near the river, but it's unknown how they're being affected by another major change here, a dramatic increase in vegetation. Now that the dam stops the floods that used to tear away young plant life, this new, larger corridor of greenery has taken hold. The new growth supports more insects, more reptiles, and more bird life. But what the dam has created, it may one day take away. Plants are rooted in sand, and if the beaches continue to be eroded, this new vegetation may disappear with them. The environmental impact study will ultimately take into account the conclusions of 94 scientific research projects, tracking all the changes in the canyon, great and small. In November 1991, the Secretary of the Interior made an interim decision to reduce peak flows of water at the dam by 70%. A final decision is expected in 1994.